Episode 244. Gomori has been sitting here until the wee hours of the morning, trying to think of a way to make her axe not bounce off of these trees. And the best answer she has is to hit them harder, I guess. I guess that's what your gathering skill is, isn't it? How hard you actually hit the tree, so it doesn't bounce off. We can improve that stat with better gear, but I'm not really going to do anything special to get better gear. Or at least level 25 so we can continue the quest. Hopefully I can finish this quest line for the botanist this episode. We got about halfway through in the first episode, last episode. So hopefully we can get halfway through again this episode. It might be a problem though because, well, it's non-linear, the leveling. You probably level up faster at the start of the leveling. Obviously. We'll see where we get though. Should have another one of these. Make it last the entire hour. Favucha sent you to learn about materia, you say? Well, bring me 15 fragments of grade 1 carbonized matter and we'll talk. There. Your useless, redundant material. Which you're using for training purposes, I guess, but it's pointless. It seems Favucha has high hopes for you. Very well, let us speak of materia. The art of crafting with materia is yet new to Eorzea. It was born to our shores by a goblin scholar named Mutamix, some few years ago. Put simply, the process begins with extracting materia from old gear. This is then attached to another piece of gear, enhancing the item's properties. Mind you, it's not as if any half-wit can do the attaching. No, it takes a skilled craftsman with the necessary knowledge and experience. Exactly what we're not. We're a disciple of land, not a disciple of hand, so why are you telling me this? And once, the process also required substances known as catalysts. This carbonized matter you've gathered is one such substance. But then they discovered a way to attach material without the stuff, and we botanists are a little more idle for it. Such is a way of progress. Yeah, you're teaching me useless history. It's just dirt now. And that, my friend, is materia in brief. Now I thank you not to ask me about the workings of it. That sort of scholarly stuff is beyond my fathoming. If you wish to know more, perhaps even try your hand at crafting with materia. I suggest you seek out the goblin Mutamix. It's said he has his camp at a place called the Bonfire, out in the wilds of central Tanalan. Oh, and keep in mind that materia comes in a great many varieties, each granting unique benefits to the gear it's attached to. I dare say you'll lose count of all the kinds you come across in your adventures. Well, I guess that's kinda true, they just keep on up-revving the numbers on each materia. I think we're on materia like 12 now or something. Or is it 13 and 14 already? No, I think we're on 12. But next expansion, it'll probably be 14. If I were you, I'd try to find a craftsman who'd be willing to attach materia for me. Chances are there's such a person among your list of acquaintances. We're the list of acquaintances. We're the person that can attach materia. Oh wait, we need these. Which one don't I have? We have one of those. Got one of those. They're all upgrades, but we don't have the gloves. Yeah, we don't have the gloves. Great, we leveled up. We just need 4 more levels, though. For the quest after this. Hopefully we'll get it. Give me that new gear. Oh, and kind of a pain to do this every time, but I don't want the hat to be overwritten by the beret. That's not what we're wearing right now. There. As Gridania continues to make headway along the road to recovery, ever more outsiders shall flock to her gates. They come here in hopes of trading, and Gridania must welcome them if she is to forge stronger bonds with her neighbors and prosper. Make no mistake, Komoi. Busy times lie ahead. I guess Ishgard is going through the same thing, or they went through the same thing when they opened their gates. But this is backwards. This should have happened, this story beat would have already happened before the whole Ishgardian thing. Doesn't really matter. Verily, we have just now received an order for no fewer than 2,000 fine quality sprigs of chamomile from the quicksand in Ul'dah. So run along and harvest them, would you? I jest, of course. A task of this scale will require more than 2 hands. If you would be so good as to procure, say, 15 sprigs, I would consider it an appropriate contribution. How much did she say? 2,000, was it? I guess it doesn't appear until there. Yeah, 2,000. It feels like we're gonna have to farm that much if we're gonna level up. Probably not, though. Chamomile is well known for its fragrant aroma and soothing properties. There is satisfaction to be had in ensuring that folk from every corner of the realm can sample the delights of this great staple. Do you not agree? Who knows? I don't think Komoi's ever had tea. The herb is abundant in Upper Linosia, around Oakwood to be precise. Once you have harvested 15 sprigs, pray deliver them to Sundry. Okay. Where'd she say? I know she said Upper Linosia, but Oakwood. Got it. And it's Upper Linosia, not Outer Linosia. So start there. And I guess after that we have to actually use this thing to find more precisely where it is. Chamomile. Probably under this one, right? From a bush or something? Yeah. On the opposite side of the shore. We can take a boat. Is our ding active? It is. Let's just harvest any trees that we find along the way. We can like use this, right? I guess the closest one is across the lake already. I wanted to harvest any trees we find along the way so I could get that bonus for any new items. I guess our fastest way across is over here. I think the summer event should be coming up soon. Around the same time that I actually started recording, I guess. But I think before that, patch 3, or patch 7.3 is going to come out. Okay, let's start harvesting. One of each of these things that isn't a chamomile, I guess. For the bonus. Oh, if we can actually harvest it, that'd be great. Okay. Well, this is why we have multiple tries, I guess. Just means more walking, more waiting. Alright, that was a lucky break. No false whatevers, no failures. So now let's start using our GP to increase our chances of gathering. I'll just use the 100 because I think that gives me the most mileage. I haven't really done the math, but maybe the most mileage is just using the 50 GP version of this ability to increase our percentage. I think you'd use the higher GP version of this if you want to guarantee you get something from one place, but then you can't do it anywhere else. Oh, we got a hidden one? Well, it is new. There can be hidden items in places. It's also rare. You can only obtain one before it disappears, I guess. So yeah, let's make sure we don't lose this one. Okay, that's a free bonus. And turn on quick gathering now. And I think we've established our loop. These gathering points respawn after you've gone to enough other gathering points, so you can just stay between the same 3 or 4 or 5 or however many it takes to respawn them. It seems like I've respawned like 1 extra in my loop, because we can see 2 on the map right now. think we're gonna keep farming here until I get to level 30. Even if we have enough chamomile to continue the quest. Hopefully it won't be too long though. We've got the rested experience going on. It has been a little while since I recorded the last episode. And actually, since the last episode, my internet service provider decided my upload speed does not deserve to be as fast as it used to be. I guess it's my own fault. I probably should have swapped ISPs a lot earlier, but I guess I didn't. So the date that this is going up, this episode, I assume it might not actually be on time, or it could even be the wrong date at all if the upload of my 4K video of however many gigabytes takes as long as I think it's gonna take. Kind of annoying to me. I've been sticking to a pretty tight schedule of uploading 2 videos a day, with very little variance. Sometimes not at the right time, but almost always 2 videos a day. Gonna have to break that rule, and even mess up my schedule a little bit, just because of my upload speed, even though I'm still recording in time. That might be the same for the next few episodes coming out over the few days after this one. Total of 8 episodes starting with this one, maybe even the episode before this one, which is currently uploading with a slow speed. I think that one's going to upload by tomorrow, even though it should be uploaded today for my 2 videos a day schedule. I guess it doesn't really matter though, the schedule isn't like for any reason. The only reason I impose the schedule on myself is to make sure that I actually sit down and play video games with more frequency than I usually do. As I've been saying at the beginning of every series, I guess. That's all these videos are for. And I guess the habit of... oh, it's like slightly different locations, a bush every time, didn't realize. But yeah, I guess the habit of uploading 2 videos a day kind of helps me keep into the habit of recording 2 videos a day, and that all cascades down. Even if my 2 videos aren't uploading every single day, I still consider it me sticking to my schedule if I'm recording the videos at least. The only problem is going to be my hard drive space, because I'm going to run out of space quickly if I don't upload them and then delete them from my SSD. I think it'll probably be fine though. And the amount of days it'll take me for my ISP to upgrade with my new provider, I assume I'm going to have enough space on my hard drive to record and render at least a few episodes. Okay, I guess I should have turned on sneak, huh? Could you stop? There, they stopped. I didn't realize when I started recording how much of a pain it would be to upload videos with slow internet. But I guess I should have guessed if I was recording 4K video with this fancy capture card that I bought. Didn't really do the math to understand how long it would take to upload gigabytes of videos every day with the current rate that my ISP has, but the rate that they decided that I would have this month just isn't gonna cut it, so gonna have to guarantee a better rate with a new provider. We got this log ability. What is that? Increases the number of items obtained when gathering by 1. It costs a lot of GP, so it's not really for like what we were doing just now, gathering a lot of things from a bunch of different nodes. I think it's mainly for nodes that rarely spawn, I guess. Maybe the time-gated ones for sure, but I guess for other reasons you might use it if you don't want to travel around and you're willing to burn a lot of GP. So Fufucha has you harvesting chamomiles as well, does she? Yeah, we got 15. I guess you have the 2000 minus 15 remaining to gather. Would that be, I guess, 1985? Doesn't really seem like an even split, but I don't know, maybe this guy's like some kind of expert botanist. Return here when you have 15 sprigs, and I'll add them to the pile. While you harvest, I shall ponder how in the 7 hells I'm supposed to ship them all. Oh, does he already have the extra 1985? Maybe he does. Well, we have more than 15. If you want to take a break, I guess you can just harvest 1949 instead of 1975 or 1985. $13, $14, $15. I guess we're not being kind and giving him the extra amount. Aye, precisely 15 sprigs of chamomile. My next friend. Ah, that distinct aroma. There's nothing like chamomile tea to calm the nerves. It's the perfect way to end the day, I reckon. Now all I have to do is wait for your fellow harvesters to bring the rest. Oh, I guess there's a lot more on the team, sure. Pack the lot and drag it all to the airship landing. I expect I will have earned a cup or two of tea when that's done. Though I suspect it will be the very last thing I fancy. I don't know for Fu to mention, but this batch is bound for Ul'dah. It would seem the lords and ladies there have developed a taste for chamomile tea. Developed a taste, I said, but it's not. But like it's not, they drink it just to impress their neighbors. Wouldn't surprise me one bit if each cup was served on a golden saucer. Ah, but there I go again, spouting my old prejudices. It's a bad Gridanian habit, I know. No, you're right. That's what Uldans are like. Well, I mean, the fancy Uldans. I guess Komori is a non-fancy Ul'dan, but she would agree with you, I assume. Sooner or later I'll have to get rid of it. Don't want a visiting Ul'dan to splash hot tea in my face, now do I? Do you want us to do it? We're kind of a visiting Ul'dan. Okay. Now we have to play the game of deciding which of these is the best upgrade. I think we're just wearing a level 1 thing here, so... yeah, we'll just replace the lowest level that we have, I guess, every time. That's probably our best move. Unequip that. Scroll through this. Apply that. Put the hat back on, and we're ready. Next quest. I fear we have a situation on our hands, Komori. When don't we? The guild's crop of alligator pears has been ravished by vermin, and scarcely a day before the fruit was due to be picked. It is disheartening to see our labors come to naught, but such is the way of nature. Alas, our woes do not end there. In a fine example of ill timing, no sooner had the disaster come to light than we received an unusually large order for, yes, alligator pears from the Carline canopy. Yet all hope is not lost, for the fruit also grows in the wild. We need but enough to fulfill the order, 15 to be precise. It's always 15, isn't it? Our man Solyu, I guess. Our man Solyu is charged with keeping track of such produce as may be harvested in the Twelveswood. He spends most of his days around Bent Branch Meadows at this time of year. If there are alligator pears out there, he'll know where to find them. Pray seek him out, Komori, and do as he directs. Okay, we'll get your alligators. I think we got the skill that automatically turns on sneak whenever we enter an area. Looking for alligator pears? Aye, I heard the unfortunate tidings. Yet all we can do is take it on the chin and cope it as best as we can. I recommend you search northeast of Quarry Mill. Wild alligator pears grow there, and were doing well when I last passed through. Barring pests, they should be ripe for picking right about now. Oh, and just so you know, the place you're going is no different from any other unarmed, untamed corner of the Twelveswood. By which I mean it's full of nasties. Botanists like myself avoid the area if we can help it, but it should be as a walk through a flower garden for an adventurer like you. now you had best be on your way. Those alligator pears aren't going to pick themselves. So why do they call them alligator pears? Do alligators feed on them? Do they look like alligators? Do pears grow on trees? I guess they do. Because we would see them in the other menu if they didn't grow on trees. There. Like he said, exactly. Northeast of Quarry Mill. But I wouldn't have known how far northeast. I guess it's like the only playable region northeast of Quarry Mill, right here. Okay, only one new thing this time. Seems like we're still floating around 73%, which I think is what we had last time when harvesting the other thing. So our gear is sort of keeping up. As long as we use this skill, we should at least go by things quickly in our farming. At least as long as our rested experience holds out. Rested experience, gotta love it. Oh, didn't use the skill. Whatever. Basically, for taking a break you get free experience. Great invention, this. A good way to combat people just, well, grinding out the game forever and ever, the experience. Incentivize them to take a break once in a while. And I guess at the same time, this is more important from the business standpoint. It incentivizes them to come back tomorrow. The most important thing for an MMO, I guess, is an active player base. And an active player base isn't very active if they farm all of the experience in the first few weeks or whatever. Just make them come back tomorrow, and then tomorrow's tomorrow, and then weeks and weeks, and so on and so forth. Of course, experience isn't the most important thing, because most people reach max level not too long after expansions, or I guess that's how it is for people if they really care about reaching max level. For players like me, though, rested experience is just free stuff, though, because I would have taken a break anyway. I really need to work on glamours for my Disciple of Hand and Land. Basically, I just have this default Lalafell gear, which is dyed black, sure, kind of a little bit different from the basic Lalafell stuff. That plus a hat, either the beret or this farmer's hat. But this farmer's hat, I don't know, it doesn't really match the outfit too well, the color on it. And just in general, I don't want to be wearing this default outfit my entire Disciple of Land/Hand career. What I would be wearing is the actual gear that you get when you complete this questline, but you only get one version of the gear. Oh, a boon? Great. Oh, we're out of GP. So whenever you complete a set of job quests, for example, on a Disciple of War or something, you get the entire armor set. Maybe a weapon too sometimes, I don't think you always get a weapon. So like for Black Mage I would have gotten the entire fancy pointy hat and the robe and the eye patch and all of that good stuff. I already did get all of that stuff. But because of the way that they want the Disciple of Land and Hand to work, whenever you reach level 50 from these classes, or I guess level 60 for the next set of quests, you only get one piece of gear. And that's because they want you to get the rest of the gear through crafting and gathering, the economy of crafting and gathering. If they just gave you the gear, then there would be no point to craft it. So you either get it from another player that can craft that stuff, or you craft it yourself. But that just means that I a player like me, can't really get the good glamour. Because I'm just sitting here. Well, I don't sit here and play the game while I'm not recording, guy. I'm not going to try to do all of the things that I need to do to get the special glamour from that gear. Which would just be getting all the other classes that would craft that gear, like Leatherworker or Weaver or whatever. Plus, all of the other gathering classes needed to get the materials to craft that gear in the first place. Of course, a workaround for this is buy from other players, like I said, but I don't have the money for that either. And of course, getting money is just a matter of grinding as well, grinding it out from the duty finder most of all. Going in each day and doing your daily roulettes or whatever. Which I do enough on my main character, I don't really want to do it on Komori. With 150,000 gil, I don't think I can even get the level 50 stuff, because people still sell it for like a high amount for whatever reason, even though it's outdated gear. The stats are pretty worthless. Probably for the only reason that they know people would buy that gear at a higher price just for the glamour, right? Unfortunately, I can't do that. And back home. That guy was warning us about some beasties out here. The only beasties we saw were those antelope stags. They don't seem very dangerous. They're not even hostile. They don't aggro on you on sight. What did that one guy do to piss off all of these antelope stags? There's a story there. Who knows? I trust you know, or you now know, where alligator pears are found in nature. Please hurry, Komori. It would not do to keep our client waiting. Yeah, here you go. The alligator pears, a lot more than you needed. I guess we kept your client waiting by gathering all that stuff. 15 alligator pears, and just in the nick of time. You have spared us Mion's wrath. Lest you misunderstand, Mion is a reasonable woman, ordinarily. It is just that much rests upon the fruit's availability. Alligator pears are to form the centerpiece of a new dish of hers, you see. A hearty salad which she has been promoting feverishly to adventurers far and wide. Mion would not have been best pleased had her plans gone awry. But owing to your efforts, she can keep her promise. And we are good reputation. My profoundest thanks, Komori. No, we don't want your thanks. I trust you have learned a valuable lesson from this episode. Namely, that we must not take nature's bounty for granted. Okay. Because you said the word episode, maybe I'll name this episode Don't Take Nature's Bounty for Granted. Maybe. Who knows? I'll probably change my mind by the end of the episode. As I taught you when you first came to us, nature is an unsentimental creature. That's also a good episode title. She may provide for our every need today, only to take it all away on the morrow. Those who would walk the path of botany must come to terms with this fact, and the sooner the better. For should your labors prove fruitless, literally, and they frequently shall, no amount of brooding will avail you. At such times one must remember that for all her seeming cruelty, nature is not our enemy, she simply is. If you would become intimate with her and partake of her bounty, you must learn to accept her unconditionally. They're just trees, Fuvuta. Why are you so scared of them? Let's see. Level 10, level 5, 20... Yeah, replace level 5. Put those on, take this off. Apply number 11. Yep. And then this. There. That is right. There was like an error there, right? But no, we're fine. A feast to say the least. On number 35. We're kind of keeping pace with the time, I think. Ah, Komoy, you couldn't have come at a better time. A dear old friend of mine has found herself in a predicament, and is in dire need of a botanist's aid. Normally I would not trouble you with such a request, or a request of such personal nature. This task, however, should serve you nicely in your training. The contingent of the God's Quiver has just returned victorious from a hard-fought battle with the Ixal, and my culinarian friend Yanni has been tasked with overseeing a feast befitting the occasion. However, she is suffering from an untimely shortage of a key ingredient. I would ask you to harvest 20 laurel leaves, wow, not 15, which can be found amidst the lush vegetation to the northeast of Little Alamigo in southern Thanaland, and then bring them to me for inspection. Okay, simple and short. Over here. But how far northeast? Luckily, the amount that we have to require for the quest isn't going to really affect our time spent on the quest, because we have to spend time harvesting experience anyway. Doesn't matter either way. And actually our rested experience has run all out, so it's going to take longer now to level up. I still have the buff going from the company thing. Okay, let's actually check this out. What did she say? Laurel leaves? I guess they would be from the bushes. There, laurel leaves. That way. More north than east, but I guess still technically northeast. Can we harvest cactuars? Is our axe super effective against them? Probably not. Please don't play the music while I'm harvesting here. Okay, good. So we need the laurel. Let's harvest everything else first. There, we got everything. Turn on quick gathering and go. I'd say they don't really change the way the game works for Disciple of Land, even as the levels go higher and higher. Sure, you get new skills, but there's basically just two modes of whatever you're doing with gathering. Either you're using your skills to most efficiently gather in bulk like we're doing right now, which maybe some players do for selling reasons, or for the more fun stuff, if you consider it fun. There's basically a mini-game for collectability, I guess, which I guess is introduced later on. Probably a bit soon to be talking about it now, but it's a completely different set of skills around here, which kind of work in tandem with the skills you already have, some of them. And that mini-game becomes sort of like another math thing. The same way the crafting works. Well, not the same way the crafting works, but similar to how the crafting works in that you have to consider a full bar of your resource. In that case, it's CP. In this case, it would be GP. You take your full bar of resource and consider how you maximize your gains with the amount of things you have, the probability, and just decide what you want to do with your available stuff. And for the Gatherer's case, it's a lot less math that you have to do than the Crafters, I guess. Well, the math is less in-depth, I guess. But I think that would be the only really interesting thing that Gatherers get. Other than that, all of these skills are just here to maximize getting, I don't know, crystals or whatever we're gathering here. I guess that's why there's a lot less crafting classes. Oh, this is new, I guess. I'd say that's probably why there's a lot less crafting classes than there are, or a lot less gathering classes than there are crafting classes. All the crafting classes work the same, but they at least... Well, I guess the mass is in-depth enough that even if you're doing the same mass, the fact that it's on a different... I don't know, aesthetic or whatever, makes doing all that mass again and again bearable. Whereas here, if you had maybe like 7 different flavors of Gatherer, just doing the same thing over and over again on 7 different classes would probably get pretty tiresome. It probably already gets pretty tiresome on the crafting classes already. I only have like 2 or 3 crafting classes on my main character. And 2 on Komori here. And of course, the 3 available gathering classes, 2 of them are the same pretty much. The botanists we have here in the miner, those 2 just have the same mechanics, just different aesthetics. But then Fisher is a completely different beast, and that one might be the most fun out of like all the Disciple of Land or Hand or whatever stuff. At least it is to me. The only problem is it's a gathering class, so it does rely on the GP, which doesn't regenerate after every time you do something. So sometimes you're just sitting there whenever you're fishing, waiting for your GP to recover. Unfortunately. But I guess that's the point of fishing, right? Sometimes you're just sitting there. It's not the best fishing minigame in the world, but it's a fishing minigame, so people are gonna play it. I did. Maybe I'll do it as Komori someday, but probably not this expansion. I already picked up Carpenter and Botanist. I'm only doing this so I can get ready for the, what's it called? The Foundation. The Ishgardian Restoration. And it's already taking quite a bit longer than I would want to spend. Oh, we're harvesting more of this. I thought it would disappear after one harvest. Doesn't really matter though. Doesn't really matter what we're harvesting at this point, I think it's all just the same experience. As long as we're not getting the crystals, which only give us barely any experience for whatever reason. Oh wait, these are also barely giving us experience for some reason. Hang on. Do we get more experience for this other thing? The laurels? Yeah, we do. Actually, let's double check to make sure which one of these things gives us the most experience. Probably the one with the least amount of percentage will give us the most, right? So let's see. Oh no, turn off. We gotta turn off the auto harvest. Well, this one is 1976. Let's see, plus 4 or 6%. This one is 3956. That's a lot. That one's 7,000, but we harvested 2, so it doesn't count. Okay, Laurel is still the most experience. So for the most part, I was still on the optimal pass, harvesting the most Laurel that I can. Unless the Desert Saffron was more? I don't think I checked that one yet. Looking at the time, I don't think we're actually going to finish the botany quest up to level 50 this episode. So how much is this? Okay, that one's more. Do that one. It's only slightly more experience, but I guess I could have saved maybe a couple of minutes if I was harvesting that instead the whole time. Yeah, I guess as a rule of thumb, it does seem like the one with the least amount of percentage of gathering, which of course indicates it's the hardest one to gather, would be the one that gives the most experience. Just a little more. And actually, yeah, it's based on level. This one's the highest level. Obviously, that would be the deciding factor for how hard it is, how much experience it gives, all of that stuff. The level of the item itself. Obvious from the start. Okay, there we go. And I think you get a lot more experience for harvesting like that when you get 2 at one time. The high quality chance or whatever you would call that. Obviously you get more experience for getting 2 at the same time, but I think you get more than just 2 times the base experience. Or maybe that's exactly how much you get. I wasn't really paying attention. And it's raining. I guess that's good for the plants. Or not. Not great for the video. Everything's just dark now. Although if the darkness lowers my bitrate for any reason, I don't know if it does, then maybe this episode will be low bitrate enough or low size enough that I can upload it on time. I think rain actually makes the bitrate worse though, the way it goes all over the screen. Not completely sure. Whatever. I would ask you to harvest 20 laurel leaves, which can be found amidst the lush vegetation to the northeast of Little Alamigo, in southern Tanalan. Then bring them to me for inspection. Here, your damn leaves. Let me see here. 19, 20, and nary withered leaf among the lot. Yanni will be pleased as peas. Pleased as peas. Another great episode title. Speaking of which, Komoy, do you know why laurel is so prized by culinarians across the realm? Not only does it boast a most pleasant aroma, deep yet not overpowering, the perfect accent to a savory stew or seasoning for a steak, but it is also known to stimulate the appetite. The brave men and women of the God's Quiver feast now, but it is only a matter of time before they are summoned back to the field of battle. Deliver the laurel to Yanni, that she might prepare a feast that will warm their hearts as well as sate their stomachs. Okay, we gotta do some extra steps. Why don't you do the delivery? We did the whole gathering part. I mean, at least Yanni's just right over here. But still, making us deliver this in the rain? What a cruel taskmaster. Greetings, friend. Are you perchance the botanist to whom Fufucha entrusted my order for laurel? Yeah, here's your damn leaves. Well, I can see why Fufucha is... Again, not sure if it's Fufuka or Fufucha. Just going with Fufucha. Maybe I'll change it next episode. Why Fufucha is always singing your praises. These will be among the crispest, most aromatic laurel leaves ever to grace my spice rack. Well, we had nothing to do with how crisp and aromatic they are, they just grew that way. We picked them. The XIV raiding parties grow more relentless with each passing day. I feel that the day will soon come when we can no longer afford to feast our men as heartily as we do today. Still, Gridania's finest require sustenance as much as they need their lances and bows. I am but a simple culinarian, but I would do what I can to support my countrymen, and yet there is only so much I can accomplish on my own. In any event, I am grateful for your aid. Pass along my thanks to Fufucha, and let her know that I shall be calling upon your services again. You got more work for us? Give us our degree already. We're ready to graduate. I think that was a level 35 quest, so yeah, definitely not finishing this episode. I hear Yanni was overjoyed with your delivery. Thanks to you, she'll be able to prepare a feast befitting the triumphant occasion. And yet, truth be told, I take no pleasure in such martial victories. Each day that we continue to water the soil with blood, I fear we lose something of what we once were. Are there any plants that actually feed off of blood? Probably one of those monsters that we fight in a dungeon or whatever, right? Maybe a Morble in St. Mosian's Arboretum. Those probably grow on blood. There was a time when Gridanian and Ixal alike lived in harmony with nature and with each other. Is there no other way to resolve our differences than with lance and arrow? Forgive me, Komori. I do not mean to burden you with my troubles. Yeah, don't talk to us about that. Don't talk to us about it because we kind of already started resolving it in a different side quest, the Ixal side quest. It feels a little bit outdated when you talk about that. Oh, an angler's hat. Let's keep that for the glamour. In case we ever do pick up the angling subclass. I mean, I guess we could still wear this for, like, this class. We'll wear it for now, and we won't overwrite the glamour, but, we might switch back to the other hat. Or wait, no. We'd have to, like, glamour over this hat, because we don't want the lower stats. Whatever, we'll just keep this. And I think we need... yeah, the hatchet. Yep, on to level 40. Then we have 45 and 50. What I could do is go on long for wrapping up this questline. Make it a clean 2 episodes where we start the botanist quest 1 episode and finish it in the other one. But I'm not going to do that. Because of the aforementioned file size issues, the whole thing with my videos not uploading because of my slower internet speed this month, so yeah, just gonna keep these episodes as close to the hour as I can. Who cares about the structure? Oh, good evening, Komori. Is it evening? It is evening. They probably do change those lines based on the actual timing. I've never seen them actually be wrong about the timing in their text here. Forgive me if I seem a bit pensive. If you must know, the thought that our harvests are contributing to the war effort has been weighing heavily on my heart. What I truly wish is to be an agent of peace. But what can a humble botanist do? In the meanwhile, another order has come from Yanni, this time for zucchini, in large quantities. No, I'm afraid our homegrown harvest simply will not suffice. Fortunately, they are set to grow wild and in abundance in the Lenosia region. I would ask you to travel to eastern Lenosia and harvest 20 of the finest zucchini you can find from the area, south of Raincatcher Gully. When you are through, bring them here to me. Okay? Tell you what. We'll harvest like 50 or 60 of them, and you can pick the 20 best. How about that? Where'd she say? Eastern? Let's actually look at this first, because there are 2 places we can go there. Zucchini. Ramholm zucchini? Yeah. Right there, so this one. Oh, that guy was a reaper. What was he doing wandering around the botanist guild? They're not going to teach you how to use that scythe. Actually, I don't know the lore of reapers. I only know a little bit from, like, main story stuff. I think they used to be farmers, the reapers. So maybe farmers could teach them a thing or two about wielding the scythe. Maybe. Okay, new things first. And it looks like the zucchini is the highest level thing here. So that is probably what we're gonna be farming. Oh, that's new though. And it is higher level. Yeah. Okay. And back to rare, or back to quick gathering. Yeah, you can get maps from gathering and you can decipher them. Do that quest that we did in this area, actually. What a coincidence. We did that sometime, I don't know, somewhere under episode 100 or something like that. Way long ago. Back in the Realm Reborn era. We don't need to learn all of that stuff again. What we need is levels. Levels, levels, levels. Not of this episode. Just sitting here gathering. I mean, I knew it was coming. This whole grindy aspect to the questline. I'm just really feeling it right here at the very end. As we're getting towards level 50. We only just reached level 42. And our experience gains are very, very small. I guess what we could do, after we get 20 Zucchini here, is try to find like a better place for gathering. We might not be the best equipped for higher level items, but maybe the experience will be worth it. Just need one more Zucchini. There we go. Yeah, we're not getting much experience for this now. And actually the amount of experience might not be a flat rate based on the level. They might adjust the experience gained if you're gathering things that are below your level. Probably. Alright, so what about this stuff? Are these all like in the same area? Bronze Lake? Yeah. Can we harvest that? Is this going to be a waste of time because I'm too low level? Let's find out. Right around the corner here, I guess. Right? Yeah. Or was it on the opposite side? Pretty sure it was this. Yeah. Okay. And a bunch of new stuff too. Yeah, there's the experience. It's mostly new experience or new item experience, but I'm pretty sure it's still going to be most efficient gathering from here, even with the lower rates. Alright, this was a good move. It's still pretty small, the amount of experience, when we just get one thing. But it's still significantly larger, I think, than the actual amount we were getting in the other area. Or maybe it's not significantly larger, I could just be imagining it. Yeah, it does still seem like it's taking a long time. We might not even finish this quest this episode at this rate. I guess what I could do... Maybe I should have done this before the episode too. Oh god, just turn off the music while we're in this zone. Here. There. We'll harvest in silence. Yeah, what I could do is, when the episode ends, even if we're not level 45 or whatever, we can just go back and finish the quest. Get the finished quest dialogue and then end the episode right then and there. And then I can pick up the next episode once I'm level 45 or even level 50. In fact, what I should have done before this episode started was gotten to level 50 just harvesting stuff out in the world. I don't really need the quest experience. That way I could have blasted through all of the quest stuff, just harvesting what we needed and not doing any of the grinding stuff. That would have fit everything into one episode perfectly, and maybe even had some time to spare. But I didn't do that, so here we are. But I guess that would go against some of the point of why I'm recording these episodes, right? I record these videos to preserve the experience, my experience of playing the game. And this is an example of what it's like to play as a gatherer in Final Fantasy XIV. This slow-ass process of just going from node to node back and forth. I mean, having 2 episodes of it would have been enough already. Even 1 episode would have been enough, I think. The episode we already recorded. If I had the forethought, the foresight, I probably would have done that thing, gotten to level 50 before all of this. But in the end, I don't really regret it too much, just because recording the experience is part of my goals, I guess. So yeah, we're about to run out of time on this episode. I guess we'll call it around 2 minutes from now or something, wherever that lands us. But what I could do in the future, actually... The reason I'm doing this in the first place is to get a class that would be sort of on par with Ishgard, I guess. A gathering class on par with the Ishgard area, which I guess would be 50 or 60. Before I enter the Ishgardian Restoration Zone, the Foundation, or the Pillars, I guess they would be. No, wait, I don't remember what they are. Whatever, the Restoration. But I didn't need to do all that. I could have entered those with a level 1 class to begin with. I guess I just wanted to get this to level 50 so that it feels like we're actually contributing to the restoration rather than mooching off of them for the level gains. But now that I've recorded this, if I ever do any other gathering class, or even any other crafting class, if I do that, or if I continue my current crafting and gathering classes to get their quest things on video, I can just do all the grinding stuff over in Ishgard, or at least most of it. I think it goes like up to level 80 or something, or even 90. Probably 80, I think. And then we can just do all of the actual quest stuff in one episode from here on out. Yeah, that's a plan. After this episode, no more grindy shit. We're just gonna do all of that in Ishgard. And after Ishgard, the other place where crafters and gatherers get their experience after that, which is the, I forget what it's called. The thing that's currently ongoing with the current patch, that works up to level 100. The exploration thing. The name which is kind of a spoiler, but I don't remember the name anyway, so I can't spoiler it. Oh, I guess we can bring back the music, huh? I might have come back a little too early to end right on the hour, but that's fine. I would ask you to travel to eastern Lenosia and harvest 20 of the finest zucchini you can find from the area south of Raincatcher Gully. When you are through, bring them here to me. We're through. What resplendent zucchini. I had no idea such succulent specimens could be found in the wild. Truly a testament to the splendor of nature, is it not? The zucchini plant is quite sensitive to humidity. One would never see them grow so large and luscious here in the Twelfthward. Furthermore, they are quick to ripen and quicker to rot, meaning that timing is of the essence. And yet, a perfectly ripe zucchini is a thing of beauty. Sweet enough to be savored raw, its skin retains a pleasantly firm texture, even when stewed. I suppose Yanni means to prepare a wholesome and hearty feast for our soldiers. I know. I should take pride in serving our nation this way. But I have troubled you enough. Take your harvest to Yanni with my blessing. I mean, it's a valid concern. You don't want to support the war effort if there's no point in doing it. The Ixal can be made peace with, right? At least some of them can. Someday. Maybe not all of the Ixal. Pafucha assured me my 20 zucchini were on their way. Might you be the one who took the order? Yeah, we did. Why, what remarkable zucchini. I've not seen the likes of these in quite some time. At the risk of sounding boastful, I dare say that my next batch of Ratatouille is shaping up to be the tastiest Gridania has ever seen. We could also call this episode Ratatouille. Ratatouille is a dish that holds a special place in my heart. It was the first recipe I learned, you see, taught to me by none other than Fufucha's own mother. My father was a traveling merchant, and our family moved often when I was young. I had few friends until we moved here to Gridania, where I befriended Fufucha. Hours would I spend by her side as she rooted to her garden. After sunset, we would go inside, and her mother would whip up a ratatouille that truly warmed both body and soul. Ah, Mama's ratatouille. Just like the movie Ratatouille. Ah, to relive those days. Wait a minute, I have an idea. Is your idea to hide a mouse under your hat and, I don't know, have that mouse do all the cooking? Probably not. This is the ratatouille that inspired me to pursue the culinarian's path from such a young age. Do take a bowl to Fufucha. It seems she could use something to pick her up, or pick up her spirits these days. Alright, this dialogue is going on a little bit longer than I thought, so we should have actually come here earlier. My mistake. I thank you for delivering the zucchini to Yanni. I suppose she is already slaving over a hot stove, preparing a stew that will give our warriors the stamina to fight yet another... What's that? Yanni has something for me? Why this is my mother's ratatouille. I always knew that Yanni loved this recipe, but I had no idea she learned to reproduce it to such succulent perfection. But how do you know she produced it, and not some rat under her hat? This brings me back to the old days. Yes, things were so much simpler back then. Now, the ratatouille that once warmed our hearts after hours spent frolicking in the garden serves to light a fire in the bellies of those who march off to war. Will things never again be as they were? Okay, this maybe had the opposite effect on her. She doesn't want her mama's ratatouille to be funding the war effort or whatever. That's 30, that's 20, that's 15. Replace these. Okay. Oh, and actually we are the correct level to take on the next quest. No grinding required. Great, so we ended things perfectly. I guess we can do the next quest without doing any grinding in between episodes. Yeah, we'll do that. But first, Komoi had enough grinding for one day. It's already nighttime. The entire day turned over and she was just chopping away with her axe, so she's just gonna stand here and give her wrists a rest. Now would be a good time to take a break.